Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting brought to you by Downtown Gun Rapids, Inc. We will begin shortly. Please keep your sound on, and we'll see you soon. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting brought to you by Downtown Gun Rapids, Inc. We will begin shortly. Please keep your sound on, and we'll see you soon. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting brought to you by Downtown Gun Rapids, Inc. We will begin shortly. Please keep your sound on, and we'll see you soon. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting brought to you by Downtown Gun Rapids, Inc. We will begin shortly. Please keep your sound on, and we'll see you soon. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting brought to you by Downtown Gun Rapids, Inc. We will begin shortly. Please keep your sound on, and we'll see you soon. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting brought to you by Downtown Gun Rapids, Inc. We will begin shortly. Please keep your sound on, and we'll see you soon. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting brought to you by Downtown Gun Rapids, Inc. We will begin shortly. Please keep your sound on, and we'll see you soon. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting brought to you by Downtown Gun Rapids, Inc. We will begin shortly. Please keep your sound on, and we'll see you soon. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting brought to you by Downtown Gun Rapids, Inc. We will begin shortly. Please keep your sound on, and we'll see you soon. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting brought to you by Downtown Gun Rapids, Inc. We will begin shortly. Please keep your sound on, and we'll see you soon. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting brought to you by Downtown Gun Rapids, Inc. We will begin shortly. Please keep your sound on, and we'll see you soon.
Everybody, happy to say Happy New Year. I was just saying I don't want to wish my life away, but I'm kind of happy 2021 is behind us, so let's move on. I'm going to call to order this Downtown Development Authority meeting on January 12th, 2021. First order of business is to approve the meeting minutes from December 8th. It was in the packet. Any questions or corrections or even comments? Thank you. And I have approval and a motion and support. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Great, motion carries. Next is the December 31, 2021 financials. Ms. Chapman.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Before you have your statements as of December 2021, so halfway through this fiscal year. We did have a payment in full on the gallery loan, so we'll no longer be collecting that, and we did see the proceeds come in for that. Also this month, Treasurer's posted our winter tax increments, so you'll see a little uptick in revenue, not much, just about $620,000 in your local tax increment. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take them. At this point through the year, you're approximately 38% through your budget in the non-tax and about 23.5% in the local tax fund. Your list of expenditures is on Statement D, and I would ask for approval for that if nobody has any questions.
Any questions? It's nice to get a couple of revenue bumps, so thank you.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't do it, but
I know,
sure.
take credit for it. All right, thank you. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
One thing I did want to point out also is on Statement C, we did add the percent of budget spent. I think that was a request at the last meeting, so thanks, Ms. Chapman, for doing that.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, I guess you're still up. Presentation of fiscal year 21 audit.
Hi, I'd like to introduce Marie Stiegel. I always want to say Stiegel, sorry. She is with Plant Moran and one of the principals on our audit, so she's here to present the 2021 audit.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy to be here this morning and continue serving the DDA in the city. You had a couple items in your packet. First was the audited financial statements for the year end June 30th, 2021. Within those audited financial statements, you'll see our audit opinion. The main thing I'd like to point out there is you received an unmodified opinion. That's the highest level of opinion that we can provide. So, good results there on the level of opinion we were able to provide. The second deliverable that you received in your packet was our end of audit letter that's addressed to the board. And I just wanted to quickly cover the highlights of that letter. Really, it goes through required communications under the auditing standards, and our responsibility was to conduct an audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards. to provide our opinion, which I mentioned we received the highest level of opinion. We conducted our audit according to the plan, and we found no transactions that were entered into that lacked authoritative guidance or that needed adjustment as part of the audit. So there were no audit adjustments that were identified. There were no new accounting pronouncements that needed to be implemented or had any impact on the DDA's financial statements for this fiscal year. There were also no significant estimates that we needed to call to your attention. There were no difficulties in performing the audit or disagreements with management, and management provided us with representations regarding the financial information that we were provided and that we were provided complete and accurate information. So all in all, as you can see, the results of the audit were very good. Even in a year where it still made, in-person auditing difficult at times, all of those involved in the audit did a great job providing us all the information we needed on a timely basis, and we were able to perform the audit with no issues. Really want to thank Tricia and the rest of the staff in the comptrollers and budget office at the city as well for all their assistance with the audit. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to address them, but overall, a clean audit and great results.
Awesome. Yes?
Mr. Chair, I don't know if this is a question to the auditors or to the team. And first, congratulations to the team, because that's a great audit opinion. On the investment earnings that were declined by 84% due to market fluctuations, that's between 2021, it seemed to be a little outside of the normal market or the average market portfolio fluctuations. So I was just curious for some more color around that.
I can address it, Tricia, and then if you want to add anything. That was consistent with what we saw for the city as a whole. So really in the financial reporting, it takes into account realized earnings as well as unrealized earnings. So it's really just kind of a result of the time period, the June 30th cutoff there on some of the fluctuations in market value for investments that you're holding in large part to maturity. So at the end of the day, I think into fiscal year 22 here, we've seen them gone up since that time period.
So just to restate, it has to do with the date the books were closed, the value of those assets, and
Right.
their value is not today necessarily increased.
Right.
It just has to do with cut.
Right.
We're also limited into what we can invest in, so we're not always able to acquire the same amount of return as someone else because of, I think it's PA 202 that we have to abide by in what we can and can't invest in. So we may never be able to outpace anyone else.
And just to clarify for my own education, that's a Michigan statute that limits.
Yeah.
Which we want to get changed. It's on our list.
Tell me in. That seems ridiculous.
Yeah, outside of pension and OPEB, you can really only invest in largely just fixed income, just very safe investments.
Any other questions? Oh, great. Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I just want to second Member McNeely's point. Congratulations to Tim and to Tricia and the team. It's easy to sort of give a 2-minute, things went well, but it's the result of a long process and hard work over the year. So I just want to publicly congratulate the team.
These are not uncomplicated financials, to say the least, so congratulations is due, so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming today. Mr. App, more good news on the retail front.
We didn't get a motion on the audit there.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So I would entertain a motion to accept the audit for,
Support.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, motion carries. Thanks, Tim, keep me on track. Okay. Now we're on to retail innovation grant.
All right. Happy to be back, happy to everybody, and I'm excited to bring to the table Courage and Soar. Courage and Soar is a brainchild of Alex and Kayla Benda, who opened Oh Hello about 2 years ago here in our downtown, and they are looking to open up a new store called Courage and Soar. Courage and Soar is a decidedly different space than what they have next door. There's going to be fine art, there's going to be clothing, there's going to be some higher-end gifts. All Michigan-based stuff, and we're excited about that. The space is 50 Monroe, which is between where Gazelle Sports is going and Oh Hello Now. What's cool about this is they've got different goals, which I've never seen from someone moving in. They've got goals of engaging the community with hands-on workshops, looking for Grand Rapids, local Grand Rapids things, as well as things from our sister cities. They're going to give back with entrepreneurs, with different programs for capacity building. They're going to be a tourist destination for souvenirs. And they're also going to be working with Experience Grand Rapids to have their employees become certified tourist ambassadors. Again, I said the space is 50 Monroe, and the landlord is Monroe Center LLC. They're going to be providing 1,880 18 square rentable spaces, or feet. And what's really nice about this, because they share a wall with them, they're also going to be sharing a POS system, and they're also going to be sharing some of the storage space. So that's actually going to cut down on their expenditures. Rockford they have a 5-year lease on the space. Rockford has agreed to reduce the price per square foot from $18 to $16 a square foot. And we have a 5-year lease, and what we're looking for is $22,034.16 to fill the gap between Courage and Soar and the incentives that Monroe Center LLC have. This project aligns with the master plan by diversifying the mix of downtown retail. It supports entrepreneur and growth, and it's also bringing something in that we don't have downtown. You know, from my fine arts background, I'm very excited to see something like that coming into downtown. And I don't have to say this, but I'm going to say this. I'm also going to be working with them on getting some artists to bring into that space too. So I'm excited about that.
Awesome.
I'm going to let Alex talk a little bit and then go from there.
Hi, everyone. It's good to see you all again. It's been, last time we were here, it was before the pandemic, so it put some time between us and then. So we have Oh Hello Paper and Gifts, which is, again, going to be right next door to the new concept, which is Courage and Soar. And so one of the reasons why we think this is awesome is downtown, there was a lot of vacancies that came from 2020, and it really did hurt a lot of the businesses downtown. So we were able to thrive and survive through it, and we actually came out positive on our books, and we realized there's an opportunity downtown to give downtown what it needs, right? To get that businesses coming down to create that cluster. So we've been working tirelessly with Richard App on figuring out what that can be outside of ourselves. And we recognized right next door, we had the power to make that change. And so Courage and Soar came from what is it that we think the city needs and what did we learn from our store? And one of the things was we now represent over 50 artists in our store that are local in the area in our current location. And a lot of them, we have one artist, for example, who's doing beautiful stone mosaics that are like $200 for an 8x10, sitting next to a giant stuffed hot dog for $15. So it just doesn't make sense, but they both sell really well. And so that's where Courage and Soar came from, is this idea that there's a community that we were making, that creative space that we wanted our store to be, and it wasn't enough. And so Courage and Soar is taking an idea that we love, which is courage doesn't always roar, and even pigeons soar, which is this idea that you don't have to live the life or the role that you were born into. So we have Leo and Pidge are our iconic characters, and it'll be a higher-end gift shop to represent higher-end goods that are surprising from the community. And that's the, I guess, 10,000-foot view. We can go in all day because, yeah, we're very excited. So do you want to say anything?
No.
Okay, cool. Any questions?
Any questions? Yes, Luis.
Well, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's a really cool project. Just curious, since we last spoke, was before the pandemic, how Oh Hello is doing. And I imagine it's probably doing well enough to entice you to want to expand.
Yeah.
Just curious as to how things are going downtown for small businesses.
So right when we opened, it was January 10th, 2020 was our actual grand opening date. We immediately in the beginning quarter felt that events and services were really a big part of our success, and that obviously went away. And what we realized is getting the community involved as far as really committing to finding artists and being a space for people to share what they're passionate about flourished during, obviously, COVID, because a lot of people refound their passion and talent for art. And so we've been able to support a lot of people actually getting back into the art space and creating side income. So I can't speak for everyone, but I know for us, that's been really helpful.
And a lot of our success, I think, is coming from working with the downtown environment. We've really embedded ourselves into meetings and working with Richard App and talking to Rockford and doing every possible thing we could do to get involved. So we're doing a new window display for World of Winter. We're going to get an ice sculpture. So I think taking advantage of everything is the reason we're successful. We're not living in a silo, and so we have the help from the community.
One other thing I'll add too is that with this space, with Gazelle, with Oh Hello, with Courage and Soar, and then Show Boutique next door, we have our first little cluster in downtown of businesses. So we have this space where people are actually going to be able to go and congregate and see different things. And with the classes and with the thriving food scene that we have downtown, we have a really cool space there between Ottawa, or between Ionia and Division. So that's the story.
Any other questions? How many employees will you have?
We just hired 3 new ones. We are also putting an embroidery machine on location, so we can do embroidery hopefully, and that's happening. So we're looking, that's another operator. Just for the store, currently we have staff 4, but once and if Courage and Soar open, sorry, thank you. So the answer quickly is, sorry, I had to do the math, 5 now, and we're looking at 7 total. Probably more. We're going to see how 7 runs for 2 stores because, yeah, we're learning.
Yes.
Sorry.
Any other questions? Well, it's great for downtown. We appreciate your willingness to take another risk, I guess, right? Yeah. And the reward will come, I'm sure. So.
The reward, yeah, we love the city's the reward. We love the city, and it really is. Again, it's been amazing to have all these artists reach out to us and be this spot for the area. I don't know, it's just that more, and that's so exciting. And then you guys support that, and that you guys can help us. Thank you. Sorry.
You're welcome. Well, if there are no other questions, I won't forget to entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
All right. Any other questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you guys so much.
Speaking of art,
Yeah.
next is Art Prize recap.
Yep, we do have Craig Sear here from Art Prize and walk us through an overview of how things went in 2021. So,
Greg, take it away.
awesome.
Thank you, everybody, for having me. I really appreciate it, and I second the thank goodness 2021 is over, and I am very excited about 2022 because Art Prize is back again, and super excited about it. I'm very excited to hear more arts and the community and retail spaces coming in back downtown. So thank you for taking the leap of faith and making that all happen. I really appreciate it, as does the community. Just a quick wrap report for 2021 for Art Prize. You've probably heard a lot of numbers through the DGRI board and the team here. They provided us some foot traffic as well, which supported our efforts, and we greatly appreciate that. So the partnership that we have with DGRI is very special to Art Prize. So on behalf of myself, the board of directors, City of Grand Rapids, myself and the staff, massive thank you for the amount of support that this organization provides our nonprofit. So thank you very much. You know our mission. Art Prize is an organization to produce open, wide city contemporary art experiences that encourage critical discourse, celebrate artists, and transform urban space and promote cultural understanding. It's a lofty mission. It's wide-ranging, and again, with your support, we're able to capitalize on that and achieve it. Again, huge thank you from myself, the board, the team, and the city. We couldn't do what we do without DGRI support. Over the 18 days of Art Prize, and there's a lot of facts and figures here, I think it's in your packet, and I see head shaking yes. So if you have any questions, raise your hand, stop me, ask a question, but we'll cruise through these because they're just stats, and you can read through them. And if you have questions afterwards, cell phone, email, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, however you want to reach me, reach me. We had a little over 500,000 visitors from what we've calculated, and DGRI actually, from a sheer foot traffic aspect, was about 1.7 million over the course of those 18 days in those 5 districts. So we're really excited to see that foot traffic count. And it's crazy similar to what we had in 2018 and 2019. So very, very cool to see the city come out and support. About 2,500 students, 177 volunteers, and then the artist entries and venues were actually down just a little bit, but we fully anticipated that going into the event because of social distancing that was necessary in venues, spacing between art, as well as venue turnover. So fully anticipated that. We hope to be back to our regularly scheduled numbers for 2022. So this year, we had a new prize awarding system. So instead of a public vote, so to speak, we had a prize awarding app. And 94,000 prizes were awarded through the app, and a historical 199 artists received prize money this year. That is more than all art prizes prior combined. So mission accomplished going into 2021. For Art Prize this year, we tried to put more money into more artists' pockets than ever before, and that's exactly what we set out to do, and we accomplished that. You can see the breakdown here, which was very exciting to see that all come to fruition. We had a little over 1.6 million impressions across social channels, and then new for this year was actually the Art Prize auction. About half the artists participated. 91 of those pieces sold through the auction, generating $51,000. That number that you see there goes directly to artists. Art Prize took no cut. Medium Auctioneering took no cut. So 100% of that sale price went directly to an artist. Unprecedented in the art world. Our revenue at a snapshot. We're a nonprofit. You can pull our 990 anytime you want. So I just assume operate a level of transparency. We've got generated about $2.1 million in revenue, and here's our breakdown from corporate grants and foundations, individual giving in city, state, and federal. So it's about on par from what we've seen in previous years. The grant program, and this is where DGRI really supported our organization. We had $205,000 go out to artists in the form of various grant opportunities for them. And then $4,600 went out to educators in terms of bus transportation grants for field trips coming downtown. Really exciting to see students back into the city, and we have plans for a more robust education system and programming for Art Prize 2022. So more to come on that. Media and public relations. Our media approach this year was quite different than it was in previous years. This year we took a more rifled approach as opposed to a shotgun approach. So our posts, our on TV interviews were very targeted, as opposed to just generating content to generate content. So a lot of positive interaction with the media. A couple earned media features here. E-newsletter, you can see our public artist and venue e-newsletters that went out and their respective recipients' opens and click-through rates. Social media channels. This was a really interesting opportunity for us. We started to capitalize on LinkedIn. LinkedIn was a venue that we had not really focused on before, but we heard from our high-level sponsors and donors that it was important for their constituents to see who they were supporting in the community. So LinkedIn was a great opportunity for us to highlight those sponsors and individual donors. Instagram is obviously a great venue for artists, and this year, and now that it's 2022, we will have a much higher focus on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube from a video perspective. Video gets tons of interaction. It gets rewarded by the algorithms. So if there's any sort of collaboration that we can support any of our other organizations with, we want to leverage our social media channels in the off season to support our local organizations to help this rising tide raises all ships attitude that we've got. A couple social media highlights, and then kind of the meat and potatoes of the DGRI outcomes. We wanted to increase visibility and awareness in the relationship between DGRI, Art Prize, and Mobile GR. Build upon the relationship with Art Prize to provide traditionally underrepresented populations with grant opportunities to fund their art. So we did have a lot of artists from communities that typically hadn't applied for grants apply this year and get rewarded for it. So we were very excited to see those that grant money go out to those communities. And then the key sponsorships and components as we understood them. The curatorial grant underwriter, in total, $100,000 went out to the curatorial grant side of things. 24 applicants and 12 curators received funding ranging from $2,000 to $9,000 to create amazing art and amazing spaces. The equity grants underwriter, again, the DGRI sponsorship was focused really in on the grant side of things to create amazing art and bring in new artists from various communities. And you can see the breakdown for this one as well. And then the public transportation and mobility partner from Mobile GR. The number one blog post every single year for Art Prize is getting around Grand Rapids during Art Prize. I'm sure if you stepped outside downtown during Art Prize this year, you were like, is this 2018? Like, I don't know where all these people came from. And thanks to Spin and Lime and the bikes and the revised bus program, transportation downtown was immensely easier. It was faster to get from district to district. So thank you on behalf of myself as a citizen for making that happen. Excited to, again, highlight those areas of opportunity for citizens to take advantage of those mobility options downtown. And then the e-newsletter headline sponsor in partnership with Amway and Mobile GR. Went out to 43 recipients, a 54% open rate. Again, our prize goes beyond downtown. We highlighted some of the districts that typically aren't within the 3 square miles that Art Prize is. So the mural on the south side of GR there, as well as some of the other satellite locations. And then social media highlights, you can see how often DGRI was actually showcased as well as with other sponsors in terms of the social reach. Public visibility, public partner level visibility, and benefits in addition to the grant program and the newsletters. So what's in store for Art Prize 2022? We've got a really cool focus, and I think I'm right on time. So Art Prize 2022, we learned a lot. The app this year was engaging and frustrating for some people. I will freely admit that. Thanks to a giant update from Apple to lockdown Safari location services, really hindered some of the excitement. However, the prize money that went out to artists was the icing on the cake. So this year we're revising the app. We're in feedback and discovery phase right now. We have actually engaged Esri as a platform, and the city of Grand Rapids actually uses Esri. Esri is unbelievably excited to support ArtPrize. We actually have their development team right now working on a new website and the actual mobile app version. We're redesigning the website, as I mentioned, and the artist and venue registration process. That should be easier for everybody involved. So venues who want to become a venue will be in contact very shortly to understand, how to make that process much smoother and easier. And the same thing goes for artists. A deeper investment in experiential art. One thing that we saw this year that was missing that actually World of Winter does unbelievably well is an experiential art. Everywhere you go downtown for World of Winter now, there's just amazing moments that get captured on Instagram and social media, and that's exactly what we're looking for ArtPrize, in addition to awarding artists money and creating an amazing visitor experience. So that's a huge focus for us this upcoming year. Increased focus on the DE&I side of things, so that grant program will stay in effect, and we will be highlighting and focusing on underrepresented communities and groups of individuals. And then the more robust education and volunteer programming. Education took a very digital seat this year, and rightfully so. We wanted the students and educators to feel as safe as possible, so we created a digital education days. We would like to bring them back into the physical space of art and provide programming maybe at the new retail space. So there's all kinds of opportunities that we have ahead of us, and very excited. And again, thank you very much, DGRI and the City of Grand Rapids, for helping make it all happen. I really appreciate it. And that's it. So thank you very much.
Any questions? Yes, Member Talon.
Thanks, Jared. Good stuff. I was disappointed we were out of town for most of ArtPrize, so didn't get to experience that much of it. So I appreciate the presentation. One of the primary goals of the GR Forward Master Plan is related to equity and diversity in a variety of ways to look at who's downtown, who owns property, who visits. So I appreciated the information about the grants to the artists. You'd said that there were 22 of those grants. Were those all given to minority artists, or?
22 applicants, and I think 12 on the curatorial side were awarded, so about half. Okay. I don't have the specific breakdown, but I can get that to you, Jim.
Well, you had said 22 there.
I think there were 22.
Out of 80, or a whole bunch of applicants, that one right there, 163
applicants. Oh, this one, okay, yeah, the equity grant side of things. Yes, yeah. 163 applicants and 22 artists received funding.
So those 22 artists were all minority artists, is that, do I understand that correctly?
So the application process does take into account multiple, whether it's minority or disability or another area that we take into account. So it could be a minority, it could be an artist with a disability. There's a wide range of options, but I can get the breakdown for you if you'd like.
Can I follow up?
Please, yeah.
Chair, sorry. Yeah. So the other piece that I was interested in and didn't see much about is who actually was visiting ArtPrize in terms of particularly racial demographics, because that's one of the things that we're very interested in and have tried to have some effect on. Is it possible to track that? I feel like it has been tracked in the past. I don't know what you're using to measure those metrics, but can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we are actually working, I'm in conversations with GVSU and Upjohn on an economic impact study to go back to 2021 to see the demographic of individuals that came downtown would be difficult. We do have an artist or a visitor survey. Unfortunately, that's only for visitors that fill out the survey. I can speak to the future. One of my goals for 2022 is to actually capture visitor information. So having a user profile and a visitor profile to capture visitor information so that they have more involvement in Art Prize. They get access to certain aspects of the organization, essentially a carrot, if you will, to fill out a visitor profile. That's our goal going forward, is to capture that information so we know who and how many is all participating.
And that may be something that we could be helpful with, because DGRI has done some good work, I think, in terms of capturing those demographics on our events.
And our new software tool that we use for pedestrian counts does give us some level of that detail. It's not exact, but it can give us at least a sense of the demographic breakdown of who's coming.
Yeah. So that's something we'd be interested in seeing, I think.
Yeah, I'd love to collaborate with Tim and your organization on,
Yeah, we're happy to share that.
How we best do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
Yes, sir.
I'd be interested in maybe, I'm trying to think, we've seen these numbers, but I'd be interested in the time of day and day of the week for this past year of what the high traffic was. And I'm sure we may be able to get that from our traffic count, because I think as a business owner, that would be great to have to be able to prepare for the following years of business operations. I know that many businesses try to adapt their hours, their staffing and whatnot to accommodate Art Prize. Many were not, based off of the staffing issues and needs. But I think sharing that information on those hours of busyness and days may help in the future. Understanding that it could change, it may not be exact or whatever, but I think that would be a helpful number to share, especially for businesses downtown.
Yeah, Placer AI, is that what you use?
Yeah.
The DGRI provided a fantastic chart from comparing 2021 to previous years in terms of days. I don't know if that broke down. I don't know if you have the hours, if that has the ability to do that.
So I'm looking at the chart right now. I think it was included in the packet last month, but we'll send it out. It doesn't get into hours, although we can also provide that. It shows by day. No surprise the weekends were the busiest, but we can get into a pretty good amount of granularity. So I'll send this out, and if there are follow-up questions or additional info you want to see.
Maybe with Rich sends a really good email, or daily email, and maybe that might be something for Rich to add in there. Businesses are interested in some of that information, then they can make a good judgment call on what they want to do going forward.
Yeah, and I know our business newsletter that goes out from Melvin and Marion often includes some snippets of this, but yeah, by all means, if there are specific items that you want to see, let us know, and we'll share what we can.
Another great question. Thank you.
Anything else? Yes, Member Talon.
Excuse me, a follow-up comment to staff, I guess. I wonder if, as we look at developing support framework for next year for our prize, whether, I appreciate the equity grants and our support of that. I'm wondering if we can maybe also look at some support for some of the other pieces of tracking who's downtown and maybe helping, like we have in other situations, get the word out to communities that sometimes don't show up downtown. I think that would be a good role for us. That's just my opinion, but
that's
something
a great
to
point.
check out.
Yeah, and we'll have obviously additional conversations with Craig as we're looking at 22 sponsorship. But yeah, those are the things that we can add in, and as we're moving forward, we can talk about things we need to track. Yep.
I have a question. Is there an opportunity to somehow keep a piece of art within the city year-round, to start adding to our collection of art within the city to promote tourism, not just during our prize, but throughout the year?
So I think the short answer to that is yes. The more complex aspect, I think, becomes, is it a public space or is it a private location? If it's on the side of a building like a mural, I think it becomes far easier because there's no health or hazard issues. But when it comes to a physical structure, I think that is a longer than a year process, if I understand that correctly. And I'm happy to have those conversations with artists as well as the city of Grand Rapids, because those become either permanent or semi-permanent installations. And I think there are amazing opportunities for, to highlight the artists or a space downtown that allows for tourism.
Great. I wonder if we could follow up with that, Tim? Just-
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing to keep bringing up, and the further in advance we can plan for it,
Right.
the better the opportunity is to bring something in.
And we have the city here that can help us provide opportunities.
Yeah.
So, well, it's a great thing. It always has been. We're thrilled it came back.
We are
and-
too. It
Yes.
was very exciting for the team to execute and see everybody downtown, just bodies and faces and smiles and families. So again, thank you for helping make that happen. We truly appreciate it.
Yeah, and congrats to you and the team. I know there was obviously a lot of pressure for Art
Yes.
Prize this year. I think there were a lot of expectations right on
Yes.
that, and I think delivered everything that everyone wanted to see. So congrats to you and the team.
Thank you very much. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Tim?
Yeah, as the lights come up. A lot going on. We had a little bit of a short meeting this month, but no shortage of things going on. A couple of follow-ups from last meeting. We are getting vendor quotes in to do the tree plantings that we discussed at the meeting last month. So got one in now, waiting on a couple more, but we should know a little bit more by the end of the month, and we'll share that with the board coming up. Obviously, this a lot of work going on right now for World of Winter. Hopefully, some of you have been able to get down and see it. I know I was down on Saturday night. It was great to see everyone out. The installations are looking really good. We have 2 new ones going in this week. So the trumpet flowers are going in right now at Anabawan, and then the crank zappa is going in over at the Public Museum. So those will be up by the end of the week. Friday is a pop-up performers night. Saturday, a couple of walking tours, one for the art installations. We also have a Black History walking tour that kicks off at 2 p.m. on Saturday. And then Winter's a Drag. The drag show is going on at Calder at 4 p.m. And then Sunday, I just wanted to highlight, is the last day of the public skating at Van Andel Arena. So we had, I don't know if you saw, we sold out every reservation within a day. So there's a huge demand for it. We were able to allow walk-ups. So for each session, there are 50 walk-ups, first come, first serve, to allow people to get in. Over 4,000 people as of last week had gone. So I think we saw that was a tremendous success. Hopefully something we can keep going in the future. On the project side, a couple things to highlight. Van Andel Arena Plaza, as well as the River Hill Network. That work has been going on. Some of the initial engagement with nearby stakeholders is done. We're now moving into putting together some conceptual options for consideration. And those will go out and we'll use those for some broader stakeholder discussions in February to start to get feedback on actual plans. Wayfinding, we had an open house in here, and you can see some of the signage that's still up. If you weren't able to come, just to, again, invite community feedback and engagement. That happened in December. Right now, we're really focused on the Skywalk piece of things and working with a group of stakeholders there to walk through and start to put some specifics on the Skywalk wayfinding. And then lastly, just to continue to update you on the Just Air, the air quality monitors. Those are set up, as we talked about. There's now a QR code, and you can sign up to get alerts. So I'd encourage everyone to do that. And then the dashboard is also live and ready to go. So those were a few of the highlights, but happy to take any questions.
Any questions for Tim?
I feel like a broken record, and no update on the Lions Square clinics.
We did have a little bit of a update breakthrough, hopefully that I can share with you a little bit more of the detail offline, but I think there was some discrepancy between all of the river projects, both the river itself and then some of the edge work that's going on, and making sure that they're all using the same basis of design for the model. So now the design team has that information, they're updating it, and we think that will solve the problem with the permit, but I can share a little bit more with you.
A follow-up to that. If that's true, would that keep a construction schedule for completion in '22?
Oh, it's going to depend on the timing. I mean, we continue to push. I think if we could get going in spring, summer, there's the possibility that we largely finish up by the end of the year, but it's hard to say for sure. the estimated timeline for construction overall is about 12 months, so. Sooner the better.
It's about how many years it's been discussed, so.
Quite a few. Hopefully it'll happen in our lifetimes. All right, anybody have any other discussions they'd like to bring up? Ideas? Happy New Year's? Resolutions? Drink more juice. I like it. All right, with that, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
So I think I told you this, but I found the memo on liquor licenses.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And really, it was just like a summary of all the liquor licenses.